right, just check, make sure that we are restreaming. Let's
Yeah,
go ahead and
I see it on YouTube.
pretty good.
Oh yeah, I see us on.
Just another sunny day in Southern California. It's where the people came to
That's
play.
Ryan's jam.
Don't let them
I'll tell you what, I love this song. It's got the groove.
Yeah.
Whatever that groove is, it's got it.
Makes you just want to take a vacation.
Yeah.
It's been turning kind of gray in Southern California. But I'm allergic to the rain.
That's one of them. Link them.
Don't worry about it, don't worry about it, thing. I'm too excited. Got liquor with the people. It's all or nothing, ignore the signs and socialize. Come and see what you've been missing on a little slice of heaven.
So dirty.
And we are live. Let us know if you can see us, if you can hear us, and we will kick here. So let us know what branch of service you served in. Let us know the years that you were in, and we will begin here. Glad to see everyone. Scott Hog. Alrighty, awesome. Just verifying that we are streaming everywhere that we are intending to stream. So we are on LinkedIn, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are in our group, and we are on the public page. So a little bit of everything. Very good.
We everywhere.
Indeed. Very good. Happy Black Friday, Thanksgiving after the fact. A whole lot of amazing stuff that has happened. So cool to touch base and check on with everyone. So let us go round robin and introduce ourselves. Let us start a little bit counterclockwise. So we'll start first with Brian, then we will go to Reggie, then we'll go to Amy, and then we will go to the man apparently in a bear suit.
I don't have my bear suit, but I have something else.
Exactly.
Not the original, but welcome everybody. Hey, happy Thanksgiving or happy belated Thanksgiving. I think happy Thanksgiving is still appropriate because I know that we're all still digesting what we ate yesterday. So there's that. Um, but disabled Army vet, Brian Lofton here, lead benefits advisor with Veterans Network Champions Club, also known as the Veterans Network Crew, Champions Crew. So just glad to be here. Uh, yeah, there's been a lot going on. Good stuff coming.
Yeah. Over to
Right?
you, brother Rajay.
Peace, everyone. Peace. Happy belated Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, Family Day, whichever way you want to call it. I know everybody's different when it comes down to holidays, what they celebrate. But all in all, it's about family and about just enjoying the present moment that you have with one another. So appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Of course, Reggie, disabled Navy vet as well. And it is an honor and a privilege to be here on this beautiful Friday night. Is it a full moon night or a crescent moon tonight? Anybody? Does anybody know?
Yes, I could not even begin to tell you. That
I had
is,
a
that's
quick
we're supposed to ask
moment.
you those questions.
Yeah, you should know that.
Yeah, I have to look that up, or I have to look outside my window.
Mhm.
I caught slipping tonight.
Fail.
It could be a full moon and that's what's causing DP to change a little bit there.
I am
He's
literally
getting a
coming
little
out of
hairier.
hibernation. Over to Amy, coming from undisclosed location.
Yes, but I didn't forget my microphone.
That is amazing. You literally
It
have
is.
to relocate.
You know
and
what?
this is that.
It is amazing. But here's the part. I forgot the bear.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh,
And it was sitting right there, and I was like, you know what? I don't know how I forgot the bear. So, unfortunately, I don't have internet at my house. It's a tragic, long, crazy story, but it is what it is. So I am displaced for tonight. That's why you see white behind me. So please forgive me. And my lighting is totally off. But I did bring my microphone because I didn't want to disappoint um, everybody. Brian still hasn't sent me my battery, so I'm just holding
I'm
it.
sorry.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for the rates to go down.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
mm.
so you guys know that, at my house, I have the other microphone now. So unfortunately, I couldn't bring that one because I couldn't bring my computer. So I'm using somebody else's computer. It's a whole thing. Anyways, I'm here. So happy Friday Night Live to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm Amy, Air Force. Air Force is the best. I was in from 2000 to 2011. I was in medical dental field actually. And I've been doing this for a little over 3 years and appreciate DP for holding space to allow us to work with you wonderful people. And look forward to hanging with you guys for a little bit tonight just to say hi and see how everybody's Thanksgiving was and just to kind of hold some space with you guys for a little bit. So
Yeah.
with that being said, over to the man, the myth, DP.
Yeah. Like, hold on.
Bear.
Hold on. Let me fix
The
myself.
Care Bear.
There
The
it is.
Care Bear. The
So,
Care Bear. Yes.
This
the
is
Care
my
Bear.
this is my position today. I will literally
Yeah, I
rock
can
this
appreciate that.
for all of a minute or so. So there's a whole story behind this whole teddy bear thing. So
Yes.
we'll let somebody else than myself tell it at some point. But Legend did have fun trying to run off with this, so figure we pull out the Halloween costume where apparently I was the Care Bear. So
I love
yeah.
that. That's so cool.
So today we are a little bit late because we had to do some caring. That's actually a true statement. And contrary to common belief, I actually did walk down earlier with this thing on halfway, and my wife gave me the look of like, "What in the heck?" And she kind of already knew, like, "Well, there you go." So in the midst of all that, we're gonna go live, and one of our vets was just not in a good place and just needed someone to jump on with him. Shout out to one of our very own Miranda, who's with him and kind of called, and it was just like, well, I guess we're gonna go live here with him first, and kind of spent a few moments with him. So hopefully he's able to pop in a little bit later. But at the end of the day, it's about the individual, and the reason we do these things, right, and hold space like this is because maybe there's just someone out there who may be by themselves, right? It's great. Everybody has different plans, but there are some veterans who don't have any plans, who don't have something to do. And when one of ours is hurting and is not in a good place, I'm not of the mindset. Well, first of all, I'm not going to discredit anybody's support of something, but I will say that instead of doing push-ups, as you can see, I've done enough in my lifetime that I don't need them anymore, given this Herculean chest that I have. But I'd rather go ahead and actually just do something, i.e., jump into that foxhole, right? So it's not really about saying. Sometimes what someone needs is someone to jump in there. And I'll say that it's crazy because the whole Care Bear thing was just like, hey, you know what? Look, it's Thanksgiving. We care. Let's do this. So if it brings somebody a smile or somebody can laugh at it, hey, I have no problem. Self-deprecating some, right, to help someone else. But what's interesting, though, which is actually the serious point about this, is, one of ours is hurting. And, it's like, hey, and immediately it's like, hey, can you three-way me in or jump in or whatever? What do you want? What do I want to do? The whole team rallies together. We called support for him as needed, and that's taking place. But I jump on the call, and it's crazy. This dude is literally, one of our brothers is sitting there having a moment, that we've all have had that we recognize. Yes, it is. Hey, Marlon. And long story short, his whole demeanor kind of changes. And it's funny because, he's not having a good moment. And everybody kind of jacks up my initials. It's 2 letters, but sometimes it's DP, sometimes it's JP. As long as it's not asking me for money, where I think we're fine. But he literally, it's like, Marin's like, hey, I got DP on the line. And he's like, oh, my goodness, DP. And I'm like, hey, we're going to go live in a little bit, but I hear you're not having a good day. So what's going on, brother? And we just kind of stood there talking for a bit. And then he started giving us some karaoke and singing and supporting and, just having a moment. So, you never know. That's my whole point, right? You never know what someone's going through. And, I'm the first to say it. Like I said, the whole aspect of, hey, because we care, we're doing this. And the fact is that one of our own was not in a good place. And it's not about an awareness conversation or a push-up conversation or a calling statistics conversation. It's sometimes just being there conversation and showing up and having someone to support and someone to listen to. And if we could use our platform for someone to, at least for a moment, have a change of mood and be like, hey, oh, snap. You're like, you're on the phone. I'm like, yeah, what's up? Like, I'm just like you. You know what I'm saying? I just happen to be wearing a Care Bear suit right now. That's all. So, but because we care, we show up, right? So those things to me, I think, mean a lot because at times I don't think we appreciate or value the fact that all the things that we're doing, creating a platform like this, for some people, it means a lot. And being able to be there for someone who literally was in pain, who was, just suffering, and going through what he's going through, jumping in just kind of lifted his mood for a bit of like, oh my God, you're here. And it's just like, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? So I'm sharing that to say that it really comes down to the reason why we do these things, right? Because again, hopefully he pops in later and he's able to jump in, in the chat and kind of be with us, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We'll do what we have to do, whether we catch you on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. We're going to do it our way. That's the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And not too many organizations are going to have their CEO jump out there in a Care Bear suit because guess what? Maybe they don't really care. You know what I'm saying? So, I wear my suit on the inside. The other side of the joke was supposed to be more the fact that because of post-Thanksgiving operations, I'm in hibernation mode now and literally dragging feet. So I came out of my cave for the live. Apparently, I came out of my cave for better things. So with that being said and done, my name is DP, Disabled Army Combat Veteran, founder of Veterans Network Champions Club, VNCC for short, a retired federal law enforcement officer, and I get the privilege of serving with amazing veterans like Miranda, who I just mentioned, who's out there supporting and looking out for folks and rallying resources. And the folks I see here today, Reggie, long time no see. Reggie literally was a few miles from myself, so we actually spent Thanksgiving together. So I was like, hey, man, just come on down and, we'll spend some time. And, got a whole bunch of pictures to prove it and everything, too. My mother-in-law was not going to hear it. So there's a few things that we have to say before we kind of kick off. One order of business is we have a lot of pictures that we have to at some point do a thing. Then we have my mother-in-law, who we've dubbed now the veteran grandma, who gave birth to my spouse, who is Army veteran. my brother-in-law who is Marine, my other brother-in-law who is Navy, grandkids who are Navy. Needless to say, the veteran grandma has done quite a lot by way of giving life to those that have been serving in our immediate circle. But then I made a mistake, and Reggie shows up wearing his, VNCC shirt, and I have my shirt, and we show some shirts from the crew and the team, and she's like, "Wait a second, we got shirts. Where's the grandma veteran shirt here? I don't see what's going on." I'm like,
Oh
"Oh goodness
no.
gracious!" So we have to get
Oh,
a shirt for her ASAP. I saw Willie in the chat, so I got Willie now behind me and my mother-in-law that we got to take care of. So those are some of the first orders of business as far as making sure we get the support shirt. So we'll get a veteran grandma shirt. So a little bit of admin notes there, but it was great spending some time. So I'm curious to find out. Let us know in the chat. Um, yes, pray for me, Lisa. It's going to be a situation if I don't get that fixed. But let us know in the chat. What did y'all do? Let us know if you had any plans. Let us know if you did anything. If you didn't do anything, well, you're doing something now. So there's that part too. So let us kind of know kind of what's going on that side of the house. But on this side, it was a great time. Like I said, I got a chance to spend it with family. Reggie came down again, extended family, so he was able to be with us for a little bit. We have some funny jokes that we'll share about the alpha stem because my mother-in-law tried the alpha stem, so that is a follow-up point that has got to be told. So we will give you all a heads up on that. But I really hope everyone had a safe Thanksgiving. I know again there are those deployed that don't have the ability to spend time or are away, right? So we think of them, right? We are thinking about them and during these times and those that may be experiencing hard times, like I just expressed beginning of this show. So if you're out there and you're hurting or you're going through, what you're going through, you're not alone. That's the whole big thing, right? And sometimes I think it just needs to be said that it's about creating space. It's about making a point to at least just jump in a foxhole, right? AKA, you're in a moment of pain, whether emotional or psychological or physical, whatever you may be going through. Sometimes you just need somebody just to sit with you, not to sit there and tell you all the reasons why you should do a thing. Because I'll tell you, as someone who has seen the bottom of that desperation pit and has contemplated and planned and gone down that negative roller coaster. I didn't want to hear anyone give me reasons because I knew the reasons and I didn't care for them, right? Because at some point, something just hurts so much that you don't care for ration now or for reason, right? And what helps at times is just having someone just sit there, not judging you, right? Because I don't want to talk to any of you guys and tell you what I'm going through because then you're going to give me all the reasons why I should do a thing. Trust me, that's happening in here. I know what I should be doing, and I'm telling you what I'm experiencing. So being able to hold space, being able to just sit in a dark place with someone, not judging them, not trying to tell them all the reasons why. Just be quiet. Just be. Just jump in there. And if it means you sing karaoke, you sing karaoke. And if it means you just sit there and shoot the shit, shoot the shit. And if you like army style, if you have them, smoke them. But the point is, you're not alone in the regards that at least in this space here, there's no judgment. No one's judging you. No one is pointing a finger. No one sees you less than because you're literally in a room full of jaded, hurt, broken people. Literally. We are like you all, right? Regardless of what you may see on camera, we're disabled veterans as well. And it has to be said because sometimes the optics of things may make it look like everything's peak. No, there's a lot at play going on. We have our own lives, our own traumatic events. Amy is being literally displaced for a valid reason. But we're here. And the whole point is because we're here. Oh, Ron's in the house. Hey, I see you made it home. The fact that we're here, it means that virtually we can leverage technology to where no matter, and again, we're across different platforms. But if there is one person watching this, right, you know who you may be. And if you feel alone, one, if you're not, share with someone who you think could benefit from this. Not just saying share and like, but no, share with someone. But if you're someone that's feeling alone and you may have not had plans today, or you don't have people around you who you would classify as caring for you during times like this is a space where you can at least feel like you're a part of it. Just come as you are. You don't have to do anything extra. You don't have to be anything extra. You have to just be yourself. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So just listen to that because I think sometimes it has to be said. You're welcome in this place. You're welcome in our space. The reason we have VNCC as a club is because it's our tribe. It's our club. So we invite you to be a part of it. And don't worry about you may not be where you need to be or things are not the way you wanted them to be. It doesn't matter because I promise you, just stick with me, right? Listen to me. Hear my voice. If you don't hear anything else for a few here, listen to the words that we're saying and just stick with us. Because you know what? There was a time where Amy did not have hope and had any ambition to go another day, as did Brian, as did Reggie, as have I. But today we get to be more than just someone hurting, but we can actually be broken people loving on other broken people. And maybe tomorrow you can help somebody else. Because that's the one thing about the military and me and veterans is we just want to serve someone else. We want to be there for someone else. And this is an example. Amy went from watching this show to being on it, as did Reggie, as did Brian. So this is not relegated just to us. It's the fact that we're growing and we want you all to join us. And again, it's different. It's business done different, but it's business our way because we're in the business of our people. The end. That's what we're in the business of. So I really appreciate, everybody spending some time here with us. But I just wanted to say that just for some, ground setting. Leggie's here settling down. Come on, oh, you're good. It's funny. He looks at me. He's like, wait a second. Only one of us is supposed to have fur, and only one of us is supposed to be that, cuddly apparently. So I don't think he likes or appreciates this situation going on. But that's a little bit of housekeeping rules. Again, it has to be said. But I really, really am pleased that we get to spend another holiday season with you all, whether it's your first or one of many. We've been going at it, and we're happy to be here. So with that being said and done, let's shift it over to Amy real quickly. I'll catch up on the comments. Again, if you served, let me know in the comment section your branch of service and the years that you served. But I really am glad to be able to be here with you all. There's a lot of good things that we want to share with you all, but we're really curious to hear what you may have done, what you may have eaten. And then I'm curious also for one fun fact. Fun fact being is everybody has some kind of weird holiday tradition. And I use that word loosely, weird. Weird only in the fact that it's not something I do, because maybe something I do is weird to you. But what is that one holiday tradition that you do that's either generic to you all or yourself or where you come from? Because I know there's some folks like eat Chinese food after Christmas. We've talked about that a little bit. So curious to find out what's the, some of the stuff going on there. But Air Force veteran coming at us from a remote location, undisclosed, G14 classified. Let us know. Coming at us from a cruising altitude of 30,000 feet, going at Mach 5 speed in a unclassified, super secret aircraft that has not been released yet. It is super duper top secret clearance, Air Force classified. It is lead benefit advisor, Amy Lacey.
Thank you. I have to say, yes. Thank you, Glenn. So, Air Force is the best. The one live that I was on, I made the comment DP was having a serious moment, and I may have said, well, I'm Air Force, so all we do is win. And our amazing videographer, Mark, did a remix that I was hoping that I was going to get introduced to that has all we do is win.
Well, actually, I did get it. Hold on.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess I got the wrong file. Technology, it'll get you.
Oh my God.
Amy's looking for that intro coming into the center ring.
You, it's yeah. So sometimes, so I will say to what, just to echo what, DP said to just about like holding space. It was one of those things where, we weren't sure, like, do we go live? Do we tell people how long we're going to be? Do we cancel? What should we do? But then, like coming on and seeing, people that are here, thank you for coming. And of course, Lisa is our OG, she's been with us for forever. She's always here supporting us, and thank you for everybody. Yeah, that's who did it for for me.
Hmm.
He's amazing.
This individual
Yeah,
is amazing when it
yeah,
comes
he
to the
is.
videos. Like anything that looks
Yep.
fancy, the stuff in the background, all that, it
Yes,
is all the
yes,
works of that gentleman. Actually,
Mm.
we should let's go ahead and do
yes,
some movement here because I want people to appreciate all
Some
that background
yes.
spotlighting.
stuff because they may think like, oh man, DP, you guys are sweet with it. No, man, that is
Mhm.
all Mark.
Yeah, Mark did he did a remix, and it just I have had a rough couple weeks, and so was seeing that, like, I just laughed so hard I was like crying because I thought it was so
You've had
funny.
quite a bit of a
Yeah, it's been a tough couple weeks, but um so like to echo what thank you everybody who's been here and like hanging out with us, and I appreciate you guys, and Abraham, we see you, and I'm so glad, like, coming on, when we were trying to decide, should we jump on, what are we going to do, and then DP sort of gave the all clear, like, that we were good to go, and then it just makes me feel good that we did, so that people like Abraham, that's why we did it today, because the holidays are a time of laughter and love for some, but a time for sadness and isolation for others. And so just to sort of be here for all the feels, for you guys, just for to hold space and say that we're here, so I'm thankful that you guys, for you guys, obviously, on the team, and everybody that has joined us and hanging out with us tonight, for a Friday Night Live. But I would say Thanksgiving, yeah, we had a lot of food. It was good. It was great. Trying to be present with my kiddos um, for the last couple of days. So that's been nice. I think for my family tradition, it's not necessarily Thanksgiving, but it's right on between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Is every year when we decorate the Christmas tree, we order pizza.
hmm,
And so every year since I was born, even in the military by myself, when it was just Quincy and I, I've never once missed a year, and I'm 41, so I've never once missed a year of when we decorate the Christmas tree, ordering pizza and watching. Now, I haven't always watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because I wasn't able to when I was overseas and I didn't have it on CD. But that's sort of my tradition, that I would say is like stuck and definitely do every year for sure. But other than that, I do have family that does do Chinese on Christmas Eve, or New Year's Eve. But other than that, I would say that's what mine was, and that's about it. That's my Thanksgiving.
no, I like it.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Oh my God, I did see. Oh yeah, the CREs.
It's not an MRE, it's a CRE.
Yes, get your CREs.
We got
Hey
Frank in the
Frank,
house
good to
with
see you,
Rayon Fade.
Frank.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes,
you for that creation, Frank.
and I'm glad that you're here, Abraham and Eric and Lisa and our Lisa, of course, and David and Glenn. We're
I need to
glad that you
talk to
guys are
Scott real
here.
quick here.
Scott.
I'm gonna need you, Scott, to go ahead and just have a pen and paper ready, because if I become a heat casualty, I did this for you all. I may need a buddy statement for a claim, so I'm depending on you, Scott. Can you claim a heat casualty? We're about to find out.
Need that first-hand buddy statement.
Exactly. Towards the end,
Yes.
I'll use the your DP's fading. Be like, oh snap, what happened? No, nothing to see here, y'all. Just a little fading.
He's out.
Oh God, he's lost some color. What the heck just happened? No, oh crap, I'm back now. Thank you, Jesus. Catching up on some of the comments. Lisa said, not a full moon, to the earlier
Oh,
comments and
okay, yeah.
conversation we had there. Maria in the group, our Maria, saying, hey y'all. I love the
Hey
fact that she, like,
Maria.
literally I can read her text the way she sounds when she talks. So I've always loved that fact.
Yes.
It's like,
I
hey
was gonna
y'all.
say you nailed the accent.
Hey
Hey
y'all.
y'all.
I love it. We got
Yes.
what are our other L2. So we got like L1, L2. So we got
Yes.
Lisa in the building. Thanks, man. I love it. Lisa, she'll share the stuff. She'll let people know what we're doing. It is just amazing.
Lisa's amazing. She's been like,
Yeah.
I mean, she rides with us every Friday Night
She actually
Live
takes
on
my
the
reels and
set.
makes them a whole lot
Yeah,
better. I'm like, man, I'm over
she's
here.
yeah.
You
She
know,
keeps
if
us,
anybody's following me on TikTok, you're seeing a whole lot of craziness. Today, apparently, I was on a boat traveling, so that's a whole
I was
thing that.
impressed.
Well, I'm look at it's we're trying to reach people. Sometimes I gotta get out of my comfort zone, and I jumped in the boat. It was on a video, and it was obviously not a real thing. But hey, I'm trying. Next, I might be in a plane. You never know. DP will make some
Air
travels.
Force, Air Force can come
Let's
save you.
let's not get too crazy now. Calm
Oh.
down. It's a little too much.
Well, if you
Don't-
need us, we're here for you. We're here for you, Army.
God. Let's go back to Abraham, brother Abraham. I appreciate you. Lisa hits
Yeah.
us with the teddy bear is in the building. Yes.
Mhm.
He may have to hibernate here sooner than later due to heat casualties, but that's okay. So some of the stuff we were sharing earlier on, that's what we're all about. That's what this is all about, 100%. Hope our brother is safe and sound, and that's the fact of being able to have jumped into that conversation earlier. So now we're just kind of, the support is there, and hopefully we'll hear some feedback here after, but at least we have, able professionals kind of supporting, so that's a good thing. Marlon asked a question which we did answer, but just again, is this live? Yes, it is. Let's see. Abraham shared, I've been feeling down myself, trying to stay positive, and you are here with us, so that is a good day. Shout out to Abraham and
Yes.
our brother brother Vernon. Actually, we had a Facebook group live a few days ago, and Abraham's back home, thankfully, from where he was at getting care. And one of our advisors, Vernon, who actually is a chaplain as well, was able to spend a moment with him and pray. And I think it's just good to have support like that. So I like it. So Lisa's sending some love and blessings that way. So that is amazing. Again, the support is always what to me is cool to see. We got Manuel Salazar in the building. It is good seeing you.
Yes.
We got Glenn in the building, taking off, doing some maneuvers, apparently parachuted, and then a rocket showed up. So take off, left, right, jump out, abort, airborne we go. Negative, I'm on a rocket now, Space Force.
That's
So
basically just saying how amazing Air Force is. That's what he's saying.
it looked to me like you took off, lost control of the aircraft,
No,
had
he's
to
saying
jump
that
out of the
Air Force can
aircraft,
do all the
and then it was a
things.
moon pod. That to me sounds like a
He's
whole
saying
transcript.
we can do all things.
I don't
All
know. You know what?
things.
So now we're gonna have to take this to the people, right? So we got to bring this conversation to folks, because again, this might not be feasible for people to see. So let me know, good people, what exactly do you see here? I see
Yeah.
take off, left, right. Oh snap! Abort, airborne, not planned, jump out, rocket. I don't know what that rocket stuff is doing, but at this point, we have aborted the flight. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. What do you good people think based off this emojis? What does this read to you, fellow Navy man?
A lot of maneuvers, brother. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what configurations, port side, starboard. I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's okay.
You're talking Chinese to me.
understand. Yeah, that's
Starboard. What's the other one? What was the other one you said? Starboard and what? Starboard what?
Yeah, port side.
Yeah, that one.
I don't know if they're going aft. I don't know if they're going. I don't know where
Aft,
they're going.
ass. I don't know. That's the one.
Yeah. Fantail.
Look, I am a north, west, south.
Yes.
I can't do all that. Don't look.
I think he was jumping into the port hole, and he got aft of the rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Got burnt up.
That's just the facts. We'll see what the people are saying in the comment section. But I'm going to say that this is not an Air Force. Air Force is the best moment. I think this is a abort. The plane was going.
That's what it looks like. The plane's taking off, and all of a sudden it's going down. So he bail out.
I'm sorry. I don't have a degree in emojis, but this one looks to me kind of, But then again, I'm just a bear, so there's that part. We got my brother Willie in the building. Army 69 to 71. Appreciate you for tuning on in. Just a few days ago, nobody's keeping count. Come on now. But appreciate you, my brother Willie, seeing you again. kicking off this Wednesday with our C orientation again. We took off this week. We're back next week, so that's going to be amazing. And here, see, Glenn, because he jumped out of the aircraft. I don't know what happened. Talk about, I thought that was Big Bird. No, if he's talking about me, no, I'm not Big Bird. I am a teddy bear today. And now we had like that. What was that? The intense care teddy bear. It's what what we gave Lisa one time. I remember that distinctively. We had like a whole thing of Care Bears and whatnot. So hey, that's a thing. What was it? The intensive care Bear. So we'll pull him up here in a little bit. That's my alter ego in case I need it. So.
There you go.
So just in case, because I'm trying to be nice, I just have the intense Care Bear right next to me in case folks get a little too froggy. Let's see. Let's see. Why are I'd rather spend time with veterans than literally go shopping on Black Friday. So, nah. Thanks, Regdo. Appreciate you. Loves the comments. Let's see.
I didn't see where it was from.
What was it? Yeah, Craig Country.
Yeah,
That's a hug.
yeah.
Let's see. To be honest, but that's And again, I appreciate you even saying that, Abraham, because again, this goes back to our whole point. As far as sometimes you don't. There's many reasons why people don't like the holidays, right? It's a reminder of things. When there's a lack of family. You know what I mean? You see all these other things around you. You don't have those things. It's triggering. That's just the fact, right? Let's use our words. Triggering, right? The holidays can be triggering for people, especially if it's also laced with loss or other things in life that are happening. For many people, you have to understand it's not only, let me rephrase that. For many people, there are a myriad of things that are happening. And for veterans, even more, right? So when you have just all the things that people experience, and on top of that, God forbid, you're experiencing a loss in the family, it becomes the first Thanksgiving without. Or it becomes the anniversary of a thing. So there's so many things that come in with the holidays, because even if it's, let's say, something far removed, maybe this was the favorite holiday for someone who's no longer around, right? Family or service member, what have you. So holidays are always very triggering for a lot of folks because of so many things where it's just like, this was one of those things that really meant things. And now obviously there's a change. So, and to Lisa's point there again, sharing that point, I think is very powerful. These holiday times can be truly hard for so many. Just know that you have a true community of people here that always will be here for you, and you are truly never alone. And that's really what it comes down to. And again, Lisa, she goes through her own things as well. And that's the whole thing. The fact that sometimes we can just come together and be there for someone else, I think is so powerful. So I really love that. Let's see. My wife and myself invited a single vet for dinner. But the day before, joined the group, hand out bags. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was in the Facebook group. Gotta see who said that. But that is amazing to read and see. So let's see. My brother-in-law, who was here earlier as well, he'll at some point kind of pop in. Ron is in the building. Care Bears activate. Now I got the intense bear activated over here. Let's see. We got Rich in the building. Thankful for y'all, DP. The group is so important. Appreciate it. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate you for tuning in and being here with us as well. Let's see. So we got my mother-in-law in the building. So we got the veteran grandma in the building.
Oh.
So she's in the Facebook group tuning in. So that's what's cool. Like Facebook and like the group sometimes takes the names away. YouTube tends to act sometimes a little bit better, but we give people options as well. Yeah, David. Good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was not too shabby. We'll kind of talk about some highlights here as well and some cool things we're doing for Black Friday deals. Let's see here. We got Abraham over here motivated a little bit. Speaking of merch, I have plans on getting some VNCC merch and have the whole team sign one of the shirts. That'd be kind of dope. Yeah, we might do that.
Oh, yeah.
I think we actually do have a meetup coming up, and we have to actually link up anyway and do stuff as is. So that'll be something that I think would be cool to do. But yeah, let's see. And Abraham,
you know what I'm
he
gonna
will be
put?
thankful.
I'm gonna sign Air Force hashtag Air Force is the best. That's gonna be my signature.
Hold on for a second. I forgot that I run this stuff. Let me go ahead and just put you on timeout. Just go in the corner.
Thank you for that thought, Abraham. Thank you.
You took his thought and bastardized it. So we have two
I was
questions
like-
in the public. It's the one from Glenn, but now Abraham has brought up a good point. So we will start. You all will follow. Thank you, Abraham, because I had it on my note. We'll start off with Brian. What is one thing you are thankful for, my brother? Again, we've shared some things, but I think it's cool. And Abraham kind of kicked it off. So he said, Abraham is saying, I will say that I am thankful for you all. We appreciate you, brother. So I think that's a good question to pose for everyone. So those watching, post something that you're thankful for in the chat, and we will kick off. Brian, we'll kick it with you. Something you're thankful for during this season.
Well, I tell you, I'm thankful for my brothers and sisters here, particularly here in the veteran community. I mean, I'm thankful for my blood family, as of course, but this is the family I spend all my time with. I mean, if whenever my real live DP bear isn't handy, that's when I break out the proxy. So
I don't know what I'm supposed to do like this because it doesn't have any eyes though. Try to do a show.
You can't see through those eyes. Huh? Okay, well, I think we need maybe the veteran grandma can.
That's funny. I've never seen a Care Bear with a beard. You might be onto something there.
I'm a hybrid. It's all these army injections and shots and stuff. So I've been mutated. You take enough anthrax shots, you grow a beard too. So I'm sorry, but look, we're having a touching moment. Brian's about to go have a whole.
Our next. You know what? We should do that. The next FNL, we should have a onesie party, and then have everybody take a picture of themselves in a onesie and send it to us, and we
in
can
advance.
flash them.
In advance, yeah, and we could have them.
Yeah. And
Well,
then
I would know
did you just say flash us?
what?
Did you just say flash us?
No,
I
I
could've
said
sworn you said
flash it
flashes.
on no, I did not say.
You
flash
said it because I saw Reggie's face. Reggie's face was literally like.
Well, Reggie chose to hear what Reggie wanted to hear, apparently, because that's not what I said. So I can't, replay. I said flash it on the screen.
Tinnitus ringing in the ear.
The tinnitus. Yes, flash it on the screen. But we should put out, everybody, send us a selfie of yourself in a onesie, and then we should have a onesie party. I love my onesies.
Is that like self-hate because technically it's
Yeah,
there?
That Mm-hmm.
Oh, I should treat myself better then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Be good to
There you
myself.
go. That's why.
Progress.
That would fall into the hurting yourself or the others category.
Well, exactly. I'm sorry, Brian. Back to what you are thankful for before Amy hijacked it.
I'm thankful for Legend. Without that chief morale officer, man, where would we be?
He literally just left. He's like, screw that noise. It's getting late. I'm going to sleep now. Go ahead.
That ain't.
He's like, I don't have a chair to sit in, and you don't give me a mic. So guess what? I'm going to go sleep on your side of the bed now. Bye. Awesome. Yeah. But yeah, those that don't know, Legend is our chief morale officer, aka he is VNCC's chief morale officer. He reports to no one but himself. When he's on duty, he is amazing. But trust me, when he's off duty, the only way I can explain to someone, because again, even Reggie saw, Legend's amazing. He's great. He's very well trained and all that stuff. But people don't realize that having a service dog, it's almost having two extremes of a thing, in the sense that he's really, really good. But I don't think I've ever met a dog that is so obedient and defiant all at the same time. In the sense that I can only equate it to like my father, for example, right? He's a career truck driver. You cannot pay my dad to drive anywhere once he gets home. He's like, look, I've been driving this truck for the better part of 40 years. I don't want to drive anywhere. If I'm not getting paid to drive, I'm off duty. So when I thought about that, I was just like, you know what? That is kind of Legend. He's like, look, I got to deal with your crazy ass in public and follow all the commands and be in a plane and ball up and be under someone's chair and be all nice and not eat the stuff and be all this. And once I'm off duty, he's like, vest is off. Guess what? It's almost the equivalent, I think. Like I see him, ladies would understand this, right? You get home and this is like, man, look, the bra comes off, you're comfortable, I'm home now. Forget all this stuff. Well, guess what? Leggy takes that vest off. He's like, look, what you gotta tell me? How about no? I'm like, hey, come over here. He's like, nah, player, we're not out there working. You see me? I'm on the clock? No. I'm gonna go lay over here now. Goodbye. Okay? Let me know if you need me for real. Not for whatever you're talking about right now. I'm like, God damn, dog. Then he comes around talking about, my bad, I was just kind of moody. It was a rough day. I'm like, tell me about it. He's like, no, don't tell me about it. It was you. You're the rough day. You're my job, sucker. But he also acts as our chief morale officer. Reggie, over to you. What is something you are thankful for, my friend?
I am thankful to be able to get a chance to spend time with you guys at the crib, brother. It was awesome. Nice trip. Traffic wasn't too bad. A little stop and go along the way in Fredericksburg. Not bad at all. I mean, as soon as I got in there, like I said, Mama King, she welcomed up everybody. I mean, I was like one part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Right on in there, and Legend definitely plopped down on me.
I'll actually bring that picture up. As soon as Reggie gets in, so Legend's name is Legend. We call him Leggy. Sometimes call him Reggie. Like he has so many names. It's like a minority household. If you're from a minority background, I don't know how other families are, but in Spanish culture, minority culture, Caribbean culture, you may have like 20 nicknames depending on the mood that someone's feeling in. Legend has a bunch of names depending on what it is. So I'll call him Legend. I call him Leggy. Sometimes he's Reggie. All of a sudden he picks up an R randomly. My wife, as of recently, has been calling him Reynaldo. So that's like a whole thing. I don't know how we got to Reynaldo from Legend, but that's where we're at, and he seems to respond to it. So it's a whole thing. But Reggie gets to the house, leans on the couch there. He's kind of chilling and relaxing. And Legend's like, oh, snap, we got some company. Guess what? I'm going to go ahead and sit on you. And sure as heck, that's exactly what he did. So I'll pull that up here in a second. But no, it was great having you down. But yeah, definitely, part of the family. And it was cool. And obviously, my mother-in-law is a amazing cook. So her and my wife were doing it up, which was great. This is what Legend is thankful for, in case anyone is wondering, as it pops up here. That is literally little Legend action right there. Like, hey, I appreciate you being my seat. So there's that part.
It reminds me of that. Who runs the house? Legend runs the house. Who runs the house? Legend runs the house.
Mm-hmm. So it was cool though, because while Legend was sitting on Reggie and kind of getting his bearings and all that, it gave me time to just go relax and be like, all right, well, you got some company now, go play with Reggie and be friends and do all that cool stuff. Well, I literally go on the side here and prepare myself for what is to come. But I won't lie though, I did not go that low because I may not be able to come back up. But you get the point. Yeah. But no, so Reggie is thankful for being able to spend with the family, so that's amazing. Amy, on your side, something you're thankful for?
I'm thankful for the opportunity to have been able to hang with the three kids, and have like trying to take some time to be present and played some games, and of course, for my immediate family and my extended family and everybody here, because you guys are all like my family, and my therapists. So I'm appreciative of that. And also like the vets that we're working with, a lot of times you don't realize, how is somebody sent me a message today. I talked to somebody today, and we were circling back around a situation with him, and he sent me a message that said, thank you for giving me hope, Amy. And I actually didn't know that he felt like I didn't know that he felt hopeless in a way, And so like I'm thankful for that, like being able to be supportive of veterans and be able to help kind of make their days or make them feel hopeful again, because that's what it's about. Like, I mean, not to get like personal, but man, I felt pretty hopeless the past couple weeks. And, there's always somebody out there that has it worse. And there's this saying, I think I've said it before, like to some people on the team, but if you could write down like everything that you're going through and you put it in a brown paper bag and you sat at a table with, a group of people and you took somebody else's brown paper bag, chances are you would want your brown paper bag back versus what somebody else is going through. And so I've really been trying to sort of keep that in mind. And so just trying to be thankful for my health and my friends and my family and, being able to, I'm thankful for um, being able to actually like lean on people, like say, they say they're there and then they are there. So I always say the heaviest thing to, pick up is a phone. And so I think, just being thankful for people that are supportive of you and realizing like, hey, people are there and they do want to help and they do care. And you don't even necessarily want anything. It's just like what DP was saying earlier is sometimes it's just sitting and talking or just listening or just being in the company of other veterans. And sometimes when you say nothing, that's really saying everything. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I'd say that's what I'm thankful for.
Um, I'm just gonna make a
Oh, thank you, Abraham.
I'm gonna make a point here real quickly. I'm gonna say the nice thing, and then I'm gonna say what the other side of the bear says. So, what did we come up with the other day? It's like I'm like a sour patch, kid bear thing. First you're sour, then you're sweet. Well, sometimes I'll sweet and I'll be sour, so it depends how I'm feeling, right? But here we love the fact that DP, Reggie, Brian, and Amy are all number one in my books. Leaders, thank you all. Saving the best for last, obviously, of having Amy towards the end there. That's a nice thing to say. Of course, it's literally an afterthought. It was my name first.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's exactly what DP meant. That Abraham meant.
100%. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
that. This is this is season. This is the test of season of giving and all that. Well, guess what? That's what I'm giving to.
Yeah, yeah,
That compliment
yeah,
goes right here. So,
yeah.
uh,
Well, DP. I mean, gosh, you really killed that one. Like I was literally just pouring my heart out and saying how
mhm,
supportive and great the
mhm.
team is, and how you know you've been, and then you just,
Right,
just
because you know what?
sort of like Jay, like when you just let
It,
Jay fall
it's
out
it's
when
it's
his
it's like
knees
it's
go
like
go out, and you're like, come on, man, you can't be falling around. I mean,
let me
what
put
is
it let me put it for you in Air Force terms. When a plane is going to take off, right? You have to have load balancing. You can't have all the weight on one side because then the plane crashes like Glenn's emojis, right? Take off, left, right, parachute. I don't want that for you. I want the best for you. So as all this positive is coming
so
in,
as I'm
I
starting
gotta
to
anchor
go?
you, baby. I
Oh
gotta
wow.
anchor you like the Navy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's a great compliment. But you were still the
Well,
afterthought,
oh
loser.
man. Just as Amy was doing a little bit better and feeling a little
Mm-hmm.
bit better, let's kick her
Mm-mm.
down a little
No, no,
bit
no.
more.
You back to the drawing board. You were doing good, but get out of here with that. The love is there. It just comes in.
It
It's
is.
like the
It
Sour
is.
Patch Kid. I
Yeah.
didn't mean to
Yeah.
cut off your ponytail. Here you go. Sorry, like the old commercial. Uh, David said no. He jumped, but the rocket saved him. So to the
See,
emoji
there you
of
go.
Glenn, he jumped, but the rocket saved him. I have questions. Why did he jump? Not Army, so not airborne. Malfunction of the Air Force equipment. Boom, burn. Next. Um, Let's see. Glenn said that means that we do everything. We drop the Army and the Marine off the.
Yep.
No. You
Thank
literally you jumped out of a plane.
Thank
Don't
you.
don't
Thank you. Thank you.
no. Don't try to band together now.
You know what? We need to have Glenn on a live.
No. I don't know because he's always ragging me for being like 5 minutes late. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's because Air Force is on time.
But
Glenn,
it wasn't like you were up at 4 a.m. doing PT. Nor was I today either. But that's not the point.
Today it was. Oh Jesus.
Like, let's not get crazy now. DP's out there in the morning. Oh no. Trust me. If I'm up in the morning at 4 a.m., it's called IBS.
That's a whole nother kind of push up.
That's a whole nother thing. Like, oh snap, never mind. That's just that urinary frequency situation. We'll talk about it. You can put a claim in for that. It's called a prostate condition. When the black.
Nice segue.
Exactly.
Oh my
On to
gosh.
claims. I'll bring it up for you, Abraham. The question: how can we get CREs? I like to try one, even my experience. So literally, crayons ready to eat. Crayons, plural,
Yeah.
ready to eat.com. I'll pull up as well, but yeah, they're there. Lisa recognizes the intensive care bear. So as I work through the comments here, let's see. Lisa said, I love my teddy bear. So we have some of that there. Lisa did respond with the link. Okay, so Marlon says he jumped the airplane because he wanted with the best. He wants to be with the best to feed the proud of the Marines. So there's that part. So now we're getting some context here. So again, first it was we're dropping off everybody else. Now it's like, no, you want to jump to be with everybody else. Got it. Check. Let's see. Quirky holiday in my family is called Blood, Guts, and Board Games. This was pre-grandkids and refers to movies and board games. So the question of what are some of the things that are kind of the tradition during the holidays? That is pretty cool, actually. I like that. So we have some support here on the crayons ready to eat side of the house. Yeah, they're pretty dope, actually. So just to show you, I've done it a few times, so I won't draw it again. But they actually do draw. So this is literally all the drawings I've done, kind of just randomly talking and doing stuff. I saw Amy squinting her eyes, her little Air Force eyes over there to try to see what I was drawing. Don't worry about that, because I know you're trying to come at me. Not today, Satan. Not today. But this is, oh, snap. I literally got the wrong one. Never pull a green crayon with a green screen. How about that there, Turbo? Let's go orange. But yeah, white chocolate is it, so you can write, you can draw with it and all that stuff, and you can eat it too. It's edible. Tastes pretty good. It's literally white chocolate. I like it.
We want to see you eat the Siri.
Well, we'll make it a vote. If the people say I should eat a CRE, then I will do that thing.
Eat the Siri.
It's for the people. So there's a third. Like there's like 4 questions. Let me keep going to the comments. We're never gonna get to the comments. Let's see here. Send me some. Let's see. Has been Jackie better? In fact, they know it. So dress. Yeah, when it comes to TBI and the VA, man, look, trust me, that's the fight we'll pick up right after.
Okay.
Let's see. So Creighton says, let's see. Hey, everybody. I'm thankful to have Lisa Wildman over for Thanksgiving tonight. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Man, that is what is up. What is cooking? That's what I want to know. Like, what's the fixins? Let's see here. So apparently I'm not the only Care Bear situation. Lisa literally is walking around too stuffed. It was great. It was a good day, and I am still stuffed. So there's that part. So Creighton, for you specifically, you can actually use your social. So it's either or. If you actually have it, it'll be the form on the forms you filed before. So like we've got your rating initially, it'll have that number on there, but off the social alone can go as well. So don't go too crazy looking for that there. Mother-in-law went ahead and switched accounts and went over to YouTube. Legend said he had enough and literally ran away. She knows this because she was here. So, this is pretty dope. Frank says, I'm back. Had to deliver CRE to the local VFW to sell in-house. Yeah. Let's
Nice.
see. There it is. So see, DP, he's holding out for more biscuits. So there's that part. You know what I mean? Hey, I like it. Let's see. No, see? Okay, for a minute there. Man, look, I was about to answer real quickly. I'd love to get together with everyone, eat some Chinese, Japanese, Brazilian barbecue with you all. we're gonna announce we're actually gonna be traveling here this coming year and going different places. So be on the lookout for the locations that we might be going to close by you all. So the whole plan is, hey, we may go to like maybe like one of the big three games or something like that. And if you're close in the area, we'll have a meetup. So we're kind of going on the road here soon, so a little bit of that action going on. But initially, I thought and read this Reggie. I thought he said I'd love to get together with everyone to eat some Chinese, Japanese, and the minute I saw Brazilian, all I thought was he was gonna say like Brazilian jiu-jitsu because it's like Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh no.
Think about Royce Gracie or something.
Nah, man, look. Let's see. Nayeli's in the building. Reggie and his sharp left turns. So there's that part. Christmas pajama NFL. FNL. There you go. So that might be something.
Oh
Pretty cool to
yeah,
actually
that's
plan.
a good idea.
So that's a real good plan. So we
idea.
could do it for Christmas. So
Yes.
we'll do like actually, well, you know what? Hold on now. My wife's like, God damn it, you're making plans again. Check my damn schedule. But we should be able to do. That's interesting. We'll put it out, but it's the 23rd might be kind of hard, with folks traveling and stuff because it's like that Friday because the 24th is that weekend. So maybe we do like we might be able to do a 30th. That's a Friday. 31st is a Saturday night. Sunday is New Year's.
Yeah, in
So-
between Christmas and New Year's, that might
Yeah,
be good.
yeah. So we can we'll do a consensus with the crew to see what works. But like I said, the 23rd or the 30th, we'll kind of play it off here. But that's cool to do a Christmas pajama one because
Yeah,
if we do
that's
that,
a good idea.
then we'll be able to.
That will give people time to take pictures.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. So a little bit of that there. But I like that. It's a Picasso. I like it. Let's see.
Yes.
And some feedback for you, Reggie. So, the veteran grandma. Yes, Reggie, you're definitely one of the family. Indeed, greatly appreciate your presence. Much love to you. So there's that part. So, boom, bang, bing. Fun fact: me and Reggie actually share a birthday, literally to the day. So there's that part.
This week?
Yep, coming
Right?
up. Yeah.
Isn't it? It's Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, kind of. In a week.
Abraham's getting
8
ideas.
days.
I'd buy a onesie, but I can't afford one right now. Trust me, we'll keep it simple. It doesn't have to be too crazy. But pajamas, I think the pajamas one is might be a cool one to do. So, let's see. David says recon. There it is. So David A is OG Marine. Come on now. First of all, Frank, no, Frank, no, Frank, no. Frank cannot vote on eat the crayon or not. You're biased. It's your product. You can't. No.
That's one vote. I said eat it.
No.
Glenn said eat it.
What I'm saying, well, first of all, like I said, Frank, I don't know. Glenn, he's saying about carrots. I don't know what carrots he's talking about.
Because he's saying eat the. Yeah, he's saying get the orange one. Eat the orange one. That's what he's saying. Eat the
We'll
orange
see what
one.
the votes. We'll see what the votes look like. So far, we'll give it one vote. Frank doesn't
Then
count.
he also said great idea.
I definitely like to have a service dog plus 2 guard dogs and a cat. Okay, you lost me a cat. They all would cheer me up. Man, you have a whole a whole, consortium.
I might have a cat for you, Abraham. I can send him your way. Send her your way.
The way my allergies are set up, can't do it. So, literally, this is going to be Casa de Abraham.
Oh, Frank just.
We're looking at Abraham's future house situation with all the dogs. Respect the dogs. You're not paying attention, Amy.
No, I'm gonna log on to the Crayons Ready to Eat. There's a Cyber Monday code.
Awkward silence.
No, you'll see. He put it in the comments.
Yeah. So for those that are interested, head on over to crayonsreadytoeat.com.
Yes.
Use code BF15 to be able to use that. And then you can use VNCC code 10, which is a code that we have here internal, which we have shared on our newsletter. So these are the codes to use. Screenshot it, write it down, tell a friend, share it, because you may be able to partake in these crayons. We have one vote so far. Again, Frank's vote is not valid because he is biased. I'm just saying. We need the people's. Let's see here. Scrolling down. We got Jolly Jolly Green is in the building. Happy Turkey Day. Happy Turkey Day indeed. Um, I love that. I love your name. I literally, like, I began to go into a whole song, literally, immediately. It was just like, don't, Jolly Green. I love it. Secondary. So Jolly had a good question there as far as like the VSO pretty much put in a claim and it was supposed to go a certain way. So specifically for things like that, I would say you can go a few ways actually. Calling the 800 number, okay, yeah, because it's still going through. If they haven't called you in for a CMP yet, right? There's a few ways to kind of go about that, right? Sometimes you may have some administrative type of things. How did they file it? That's the biggest thing you want to see because if it has to go secondary too, then that creates a whole nother conversation, right? So if the claim went first as a primary, aka you're saying that this was caused by service, it goes in as a direct to service. The problem becomes because you're saying that you have to show some way of how that is affected to you. If they put it wrong because it's saying, hey, PTSD caused the situation, now that argument has to be made for that, right? Is there a diagnosis, right, for the condition you're trying to file? And two, is there a connection to help make that argument, right? Some will get an independent medical letter, some people will get a nexus, kind of the same thing to help the argument. So the reality is that if it doesn't go through, then the way you want to come back at it is with a supplemental. So it's not just as easy as saying, oh, it should be this way, right? Because the system tends to just say, reject, take it back. You should have done it right the first place, right? So it's kind of one of those type of things where the VA gets kind of hinky. But you can pretty much still try to call in at least and just say, hey, look, this actually went in the wrong way. What do you advise, right? And they may be able, again, it's that's human error. They may be able to go in and say, hey, send us a 4138 and just kind of tell us what you want to do. And, before we start scheduling stuff, right, we can move it around. No matter what anybody says, trust me, it's the government, man. Stuff sometimes doesn't make any sense of how they do it. But what will likely happen is it may not fly. And if it doesn't fly, you're going to want to come back with a supplemental claim and pretty much say, no, this actually should have gone in as a secondary claim. And this is the rationale behind it, right? So there's a lot of more questions that we would need to be able to actually give you a better explanation of how to proceed. But textbook answer really would be that it should go. Well, first of all, has it been denied it ever? Is it the first time you're claiming it? Because if it has been denied, it should have gone in as a supplemental, as a secondary. If it's the first time you're claiming it, then yes. If you're saying it's secondary to your mental health condition, then there should be supporting evidence, right, to corroborate that, i.e. a diagnosis. You should have that. Personal statement helps, right, to be able to understand what's going on there. But sometimes you may need a little bit more than that to be able to make the medical argument for you, especially depending on how long you've been out of service and how long you've had the rating, right? So there's a lot of little details in there that makes it complex, right? So there's no real, like, just, hey, this does a thing and fixes it. Like, no, because even if they switch and say supplemental, if there's no real, secondary rather, to the mental health, they could still outright deny it because it's still missing the elements for service connection. So you're still going to need to have a diagnosis, one. You're going to need to have, two, a in-service event stressor connection. You're saying that PTSD caused it, and then the nexus. How are you connecting that? Right, so if you expect them to just give it to you like that, it may not fly. But we can take it offline too, again, if you want to have a conversation about that too. But that's to answer the question. So Glenn says, good idea on the holiday piece. Fran says it's the only vote that counts. This feels immediately creepy. The fact that it's like we're making a teddy bear apparently eat crayons. Isn't that like against like teddy bear rules? Like, you could get sick or something like that. Lisa says, eat it. Orange CRE. Eat it. Where is oh my God, where is Suck It Fly Girl? She's she literally just commented Capri.
Yeah.
Man, where's Capri when we need her?
Right.
Isn't Jolly Green a helicopter thing? It may just be. Yes, Jolly says, yes, a chopper. Okay, I think Lisa, you're breaking up. Your comment did not come in directly, so for some reason I don't know why, but it's just not computing. I think autocorrect. It
definitely came in on this end. It says
no. It was supposed to be the other way. I'm not really sure. So, let's see. Thank you, DP. Today is Indian Day, but you call it Ira Hayes Day. Oh, awesome. Let's see. Anyone else lives in Georgia, live in Decatur? Awesome. We have one of our newly minted realtors in the building. Just
Hey,
CM,
yes.
the better
Yes.
half of the other JM. Screw that guy. All right, I think we're kind of caught up here. Goodness gracious. So good ideas on the stuff there. The votes might be inconclusive. We're doing a recount. I don't know what's going on with that.
Wow.
Let's we will hit the cookies. I mean the crayons here in a second. I just want to check real quick to see if we have anything updates from Miranda on that side. Brian, let's talk real quickly about a few things that we can kind of share at least. I'll bring it up here in a second, but we also have a Black Friday deal that we want to talk about too because it is pertinent. So I'm going to kick it over to Brian to kind of give us a little intro about what's kind of happening there. So while he does that, I will prepare the orange crayon here because I will honor what it was requested. God, daggone it, Lisa. Like, literally, not only do you hit me with the daggone response, now you get to hit me with the actual orange/red looking crayon. Man, talk about being on point. Where's Sam when you
She's
need him?
on it.
This is an iPhone Android problem here. I think your Android's
Let's
acting
get
up,
that
Lisa.
Apple and let's get that Apple and Android thing going.
I know. Like, we need Sam to come in here and start some mess.
I think Sam's probably passed out. You know, he's probably just still recovering from yesterday.
I think so. I think so.
Guess.
She said it didn't have orange, so it is a thing.
Awesome.
But yeah, so kicking over to some of the things that we are rolling into. Talk to us a little about some of the VNCC.
Yes, yeah, our first Black Friday sale. That's pretty exciting. And I have to say, I did real quick. I did go to Walmart today, but it was this evening. It wasn't this morning. And the play, I thought that everybody would have cleared out by now, and there's still a lot of people there. I'm thinking, don't y'all have a home to go to or somewhere else to raid? But
you need that.
Forget about just trying to make a quick run in to grab something and leave. But yeah, no. But see, that's the great thing about our Black Friday sale. You don't have to go in and fight people with shopping carts. Literally battle it out. Here's a little bit of a thing. So as a Black Friday tradition, it's been a few years since we've actually done this, but my wife and sisters and sister-in-law have since gotten over this whole thing. But I used to kind of really encourage my wife to go with my siblings and to Black Friday because I was always looking forward to the war stories whenever they came back from the store. There's always shopping cart fights. There's all it was a whole thing. So it was interesting to listen to. But no, so we've got our Black Friday. So we have our MasterClass, VA Claims MasterClass. Little known fact. So we have just released it actually a few weeks ago. So it's still fresh out. We had the opportunity now to have a Black Friday sale, 20% off of it through Monday, and it's in the YouTube chat, and it's pinned to the top of the chat. So you can go to vaclaimsmasterclass.com, and then whenever you go in to do the checkout, you just type in VNCC 25 to get the discount. So, but yeah, we spent over a year putting this masterclass together. I will say that this is the definitive course, the experts at your fingertips experience. Literally, I mean, all of our expertise of what you should look for, even strategy, forms that you use, talks about supplemental claims and HLRs, secondary claims. Again, even strategy down to how do you what's a good strategy to follow. All of these things that you just whenever you're starting off, you're completely lost. You have no idea, no concept of where to start. We even have checklists in there on how to start your claims all the way through. We've got CMP prep information in there. So we've got little videos that explain how to fill out the VA forms that are relevant to most claims. So yeah, it's it's incredible. Um, and we've had some fine folks go through the course. David Alkire in here, he's gone through the course and given it a nice review. And we've had a number of others who've gone through the course, and everybody's had nothing but glowing things to say about it, other than why couldn't it have come out sooner? So
100%.
yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, this is really the cat's meow or the bear's growl.
The cat's
Um,
pajamas. And this is
so
the site when you guys and gals head on over to it. So you'll be able to kind of see a little information breakdown. So you're in the right place because you'll see me and Legend there, and the crew on that side. So it's cool because it kind of really breaks down, kind of what we're doing, the rationale behind it, etc. So really excited for that. So again, a lot of work has gone into it. I'll give you guys all a preview here in a few. But again, that's where you'll be able to go and get some information on it and really just kind of, take a little deep dive. Again, whether you're going to the claim process or know someone who is in the process of going through the claim process. So that comes in pretty handy. So pretty excited for that. Let's see here. All right, so we're gonna let's knock out things in order before I forget. So, Apple. You submit the 4138 with the 526 Easy crate. And so no, you're not gonna do unless you're doing a paper claim submittal. The 526 Easy really happens automatically if you submit the claim online. So the first question becomes, are you going to go online and submit it? Because if you do it on va.gov, that is where you will be able to upload the 4138, right? So the 526 Easy is actually automatically filled out by virtue of you going through the submitted claim process, if that makes sense. But you do have the ability to do a paper one. I would say the va.gov experience is way more refined and easier than doing the form because it is a monster of a form. So,
well, and the
See,
form
I don't.
update.
Yeah,
The form update it's not the 4138 form
yeah.
anymore for the
the
personal
10210.
statement. Yeah, so it's 21-10210.
And what specifically, I guess, is actually, let's take it back. What are you trying to use the 4138 for? I guess would be the first question.
Yeah.
Which actually is a good point. So let's talk about that, right? So let us utilize the resources. So I'm going over here to a pretty nifty website, veteransnetwork.club, in case, it's something that y'all want to check out. But this is pretty cool and nifty. I really like what is going on this side of the house. But if you head on down to the claim support folder, and let's go over to forms. So, and the question basically is, as far as the form being submitted, usually things that would be added to the form would go in the 4138, right? A support claim. But however, now we have another form that's a little bit more better, and I'll show you why, right? Because it also helps understand. So a 4138 has been pretty much a form that folks have used forever. These are statements in supports of claims, but they would be used for a lot of things, right? I'm communicating something to the VA. I'm trying to rectify something. I'm trying to request something. There's a lot of things, or somebody's writing me a buddy letter, many reasons to use this. The problem is, this is usually how this would play out. You'd have someone come in here and do something like, DP is writing a letter for support, right, for whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll literally come in here and say, I saw Reggie drown. How was he in the Navy? Question mark. And then literally that would be like the statement. But the problem is it'd be no actual details to really help craft the story as to what you're trying to provide via this supporting document, right? Because this could also be like to the question earlier, I would like, to submit or complain that this didn't happen, CMP was wrong, whatever case may be. So going back, the new form that was released now that is much better is the 10210. Right? So we go to the 10210. This is for lay statements and witness statements. This is actually the form to be used if you're going to write a statement for yourself or have someone write it for you. Reason is you have the veteran identifying information. That's crucial. You'd be surprised how many people write a statement and don't even put the information of the veteran they're writing it for. Then the claimant's information, right? Complete this form only if the claimant is not the veteran, i.e., now, right? There's This is looking at somebody else. So only if the claimant is not the veteran, i.e., I'm writing the letter now for, let's say, Amy. So I'm putting my information. So she's the veteran. I'm the person writing the statement. And then down here, I'm giving the statement the information, what I saw, whatever the case may be. And then I'm able to come down here and look at the witness contact information. Again, you'd be surprised where some basic things are not provided. So I'm the witness, so my name, I serve with the veteran. I'm a family or friend of the veteran. I'm a coworker of the veteran. So you have the ability to give some of that information to help the rate or the VA get a better understanding of what you're trying to claim. And once I do all these things, what is my preferred method of them contacting me? Should they want to or need to? Seldomly does it happen, but maybe they might want to. So that's done and set there. I give the information that is needed, and then I go ahead and sign, pretty much certifying that to the best of my ability, this is true and accurate information. Like that's needed because I'm writing a letter of what I saw or supporting that this is what my spouse deals with or my friend deals with. Again, depending on what is my relationship to the person. Again, and it could be other. So whatever the relationship is, I'm able to do that. So this is the form to use if there is a lay statement or witness statement, whether it's your own statement or somebody writing it for you. So this is a preferred form to use. Previously, it'd be a 4138. But again, this statement in support of a claim can now take different forms. But if it's a lay statement, the 10210 is the way to go. These amazing forms are brought to you by the good folks over at Veterans Network Champions Club, where you'll find all the main forms that you need updated here for your use. So a lot of good folders, a lot of good information. You can learn a lot. You can browse around. It's pretty cool stuff. You'll see me pointing at some folders. So that means go to the folder and take a look at it. So pretty cool things here as well. I think that should answer the question. But just in case, want to make sure that at least we give a thorough answer as it relates to that. But even things like that, I think is cool to be able to explain it. Because again, everybody wants to sit there and say, just Google a thing. Well, show me how to do a thing. And here is the part. It's like, no, you need sometimes more than just, Google a thing or what somebody else, said to do, whatever the case may be. Like, no, there has to be more ways to go about this. And I think that's what's really interesting, to be able to take it to the next level and not just, try to wing it. So actually I'll bring up here, let me see. Okay, got that. Perfect. Let's go ahead and release that. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up here that in a minute. I just want to catch up on some comments that came up. We got orange for the Coasties. It's called Puddle Pirates Orange. For those that are curious about the colors. So there are different colors there as well. So heads up there. 6 colors, 1 for each branch. What's up, folks? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Appreciate you hanging out here with us. Go Navy, beat Army. Oh, man, negativity. David Alkire, Akir, who gave us some good information and feedback here. MasterClass course is chock full of information. Can't emphasize that enough. So heads up on that there. The website, again, for those that have asked for it, is being brought up here. So we have that. Let's see. Brian, I think you got the creating question that came in, so we'll keep that one offline there. And the website I was just literally showing at veteransnetwork.club. You are welcome, my brother. I hope that was able to help and answer the question. Because, again, that's the whole reason of, trying to help and answer these questions. So, Brian, back to you real quickly. As far as some of the cool stuff that might be in the course that folks would not expect. Because, again, when you think of a course, right, folks may not think or understand, like, hey, there's actually some extra goodies in there. So talk to me a little bit about, because you were behind the scenes of some of the cool stuff that kind of took place to, put all that together and bring it, together. And who we brought in to do it. Like, we didn't do it either, which is also a fun fact I think should be shared. So share a little bit of that, since you worked intimately with the course creator.
Yeah, somebody who happens to have a familial relationship with one of our lead benefits advisors, hashtag Air Force. Yes, we had a professional course developer and educator actually come in and actually create our course, not a vet. So actually that helped us, because quite frankly, veterans who've been out for a while have been out long enough, and even if you haven't been out very long, the VA lingo is not the military lingo. VA has its own lingo, right? Has its own acronyms, has its own key phrases.
Mm-hmm.
So having an educator and a course professional course developer who doesn't have that background really helped, because if she doesn't understand something that's contained in the course,
Mm-hmm.
well, then a veteran who's needing the course and the help from the course might have the same questions. So that was a great sort of byproduct of having her do this for us. Great work, Amanda. And we have, gosh, this has everything from start to finish,
So
and
let's
then
let's
some.
let's show it real quickly. So
Yeah.
this is a little sample here, just to kind of wet the palate, which I think is cool. Again, I just want to highlight these some points. So this should be able to kind of see here, as far as how the course is laid out. Let me move Amy because she's like jumping into the course literally. But this is pretty cool because again, it's self-paced. You go through it. It has different modules. So intro to claims, strategy, processes, bonus materials, and additional support that we have included in there. But what I think is pretty amazing, again, is even when you're going through, you'll see what the objectives are, right? Again, back to the learning capacity. The person we brought in, again, Amy's sister, she's an educator. She works with adult learning. So understanding how, right, to put something together for an adult learner, right? How do they learn? What is the methodology and so forth? So we know what we want to do, but how can we do that thing? Literally going right to this. This is literally the conversation we're having as far as service connection, right? When we look at like what happens if someone goes and tries to file a claim, well, this is what's needed, right? And I'm literally just pulling the course up. So everything that we're answering, literally, you see me referencing it right in the course because we put the course together, right? You have to understand how, these things are put together. What is the rationale and the supporting information, right? Even down to types of service connection, what they are. You'll have voiceovers, you'll understand, and there's videos and supporting information. You'll hear some of our voices and our folks here doing some amazing things on this one. Like you hear Amy walk you to the process of how to put together that intent to file it, welcome videos and so forth. So a slew of information that really ranges in so many ways. And then even like what I just did a few minutes ago, right? Like, okay, well, DP's not around to show me how to actually fill out said form. Well, guess what? You literally have the main forms here that are used. And when you go to said forms, let's say, for example, the same form we just showed, you have the ability to actually see a video that walks you through how to fill out the form. So that's amazing because it's literally, our folks kind of going through it. They're explaining it to you, walking you through the process. So even having that level of support, again, at your fingertips, which is the things that, we know for a fact are questions that come up, things that folks need. You have a CMP coming up. Again, how do you prepare for that? A whole module for that. So this is a slew of things. Again, that it's really great for someone who wants to kind of go at it, themselves. So if it's for yourself or another veteran, I think it really is amazing to see all the work that was put into this along these modules. And it's something that's great because we're also continuously adding to. So it's not just something that stays the way it is, but we're going to be adding more to it. So this is our masterclass. We have some other things that we're working on too that are going to build off of this. So I think that's really exciting to see just what the growth will be from that. But what we're doing also in conjunction with the Black Friday sale is we decided it was the 16th, I believe, Brian, if I'm not mistaken. But basically in about 3 weeks or so, December 16th,
Oh yes.
we're going to have a reset. So if you purchase the course by Monday, which I think is we're pushing the Black Friday through, we're going to have a reset December 16th. So everyone who bought the course, right? So it's not like it's discounted because the price went up. Like, no, it's actual discount. So it's 25% off. And then those that are part of that, we're treating it like a little cohort also somewhat, right? That basically will have a one-on-one group session with us on the 16th. So basically you have them from here till December 16th to go to the course, write down questions, any issues you may have, and then literally have us to kind of have a deep dive workshop on it. So there are some pretty cool things we're thinking about, but we're treating it kind of like a mini cohort. So there's a discount involved and then a live, group session with us where literally you'll have myself and the team. We're coming in. It'll be a Zoom thing, private to those that bought it. And if there's any questions, something that wasn't clear, or things you want to go deeper on, because again, it's a master class, but it can go so deep. Like there's levels to the game, as you've seen our stuff go on. But having that with those individuals who purchase that, I think would be cool, right? So it's not like you bought the course and then you're by yourself. Like no, we're literally going to have a reset on the 16. I think and having that and having you join us will be amazing. So that's a little add-on that we have there. On to the orange crayon. If folks know the amount of multitasking that takes place, good Lord Almighty. So we're having orange. We did clarify what this was. So for orange, I should have given you one to take with you, Reggie. I don't think about it. I failed. Damn it. It draws and tastes great. It's like a white chocolate, creamy type of
We
feel.
need the whole like ASMR vibe where you go up to your calculator so we can hear the smacking of it. There you go.
What in the hell is life come to?
Well, that's what you were doing with Legend, weren't you? The ASMR.
Yeah, but he was the one eating, not me.
Yeah. So go
Next thing
ahead.
you know, about to open up an OnlyVets page. What is DP doing today? I don't know. What you guys want? Don't answer. My mother-in-law's like this. Just want the team to know that I've been working on writing. So awesome. I like that. Thank you, Abraham. So Marlon, to your question specifically, right? That comes down to a few things. Is there an in-service incident or issue? Where did it start? How long been out of service? Is it a secondary? Is there a presumption in place? When we look at Agent Orange, there's a presumptive in place when it comes to diabetes. Or was it something diagnosed in service? If it wasn't diagnosed in service, is there something that happened after service or a secondary way to say, okay, I have this connected, service connected, but in turn, I'm going to file now a secondary saying that this is thing service connected has caused this thing that I'm dealing with. So as far as the qualification, more so is how do you tie the argument medically to the VA, right? So, and that's for anything, right? So that's what I think folks get really confused about. When the question becomes, hey, can I file for this? Can you? Is there an argument? Because the reality is, that's really what I think. It's not like this is an approved list of what can be filed. Like, no, there are things that are precedents set up for, let's say, folks to file something. And there are instances where there are veterans who go to the Board of Appeals, the BVA, and guess what? A judge awards them that rating, but just them, because they literally made the argument and is awarded to them. So it's so many ways how this happens to where folks think like if something goes to courts or to a judge, let's say, just because let's say Brian, right, files for something and he wins, that doesn't mean everybody gets that. It just means that he made the argument and it was like one of those one-offs. It was like, yeah, in this veteran's case, yeah, they had him on guard duty for the better part of 10 years sipping that gas, and he developed third year. So third year awarded to Brian, analogous to this. You know what I mean? So there are instances where things are rated. They're like, how is that possible? You don't know the medical documentation.
So, and this kind of goes to the fact when people ask, well, I've got studies that show this is connected to this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great supporting evidence, but the problem is you don't have a nexus, a medical opinion that ties you to that specifically. So the VA, sometimes you'll kind of slide through with that generalization supporting evidence, but for the most part, they're looking for that specific nexus that says due to your unique conditions and the supporting medical evidence that then is the connection. So that's just a little misunderstanding for a number of people that think that, well, I can print this stuff off and submit it. I don't need to get a nexus letter. Well, you can give that a shot, and if it works, more power to you. But I won't be buying that lottery ticket. So,
and that's actually a good point. So I'm going to bring up this here because what you said actually is what a lot of veterans do, and which goes back to the argument that someone makes. So let me pull back up the course because I think it just helps to have that as the reference point. Right, so this is the Calusa Triangle. We've talked about it a little bit, but this is from Calusa B Round. This is what's necessary to be able to actually put together you know, to be able to have service connection, right? So for the most part, you have to have a diagnosis. No diagnosis, that means you're not going to be able to be service connected. You have to have a medical diagnosis because guess what? IBS, sleep apnea, PTSD, etc. They're just medical conditions. They're not disabilities. It's the symptoms that rise to disabilities. That's a key point. So looking at the Kaluza triangle, you have to have a diagnosis. You have to have an in-service stressor or event to be able to say, okay, I have this diagnosis and this is where it happened in service, right? And then the nexus, which is what connects it. So to the argument of, hey, how can I file this? Well, guess what? The ED should have gone secondary to PTSD. What's the nexus? What's the connection? If that's lacking, that becomes a problem. Again, there are instances where that may not be needed. Let's say you're transitioning veteran, from service and it's in your records, check, good to go. But if you didn't complain in service, this becomes a problem, right? So that nexus is that medical opinion to help strengthen the argument. So that's one point. But there are instances now where you look at other things to help the argument. But remember, something has to connect it. So let's say, for example, I'm looking specifically at one specific person here on this show today because I know this will make her heart happy. Sleep apnea. So, so this is a study that was done, and again, this is one of those things where you can look up things, right? It's not exclusive to people, but this is the National Library of Medicine. This is a study done May 2015, and looked at sleep apnea and PTSD, right, among veterans in the OIF, OEF, OND population, right? Again, I'll spare you the details. You can Google it and find it. But really, when it's all said and done, the results were that out of 159 veterans screened, 69% were assessed as being at high risk of OSA. PTSD symptom severity also increased the risk of screening for positive for OSA. PTSD symptom increased risk of screening positive for snoring and fatigue, but not high blood pressure or BMI, right? Conclusions that veterans with PTSD screen at a high risk for OSA at much higher rates than those seen in community studies that may have not shown all classic predicators of OSA, i.e. older or higher BMI. And the reason I'm focusing on that point is because it's always, oh, your weight, you're heavy, you're fat. Like, no. This is people way more learned than us saying that, hey, our side of the BMI side of the house, because of the PTSD aspect, there's prevalence that they've seen with that. So this now begins to make an argument saying, wait a second, there is a connection between PTSD and sleep apnea. So I can file, I can win. Not exactly. This is a medical literature that says that we've found there is a preponderance that's higher in this population. Now, in your case, you still have to meet the requirements for the service connection. So you have to have the diagnosis. You have to be able to point to something, and the nexus helps. That's where having a medical provider, we network with a few that help us kind of solve that problem, but it's key to be able to connect that, right? So to make a long story short, that's necessary. But the one point I always like to say here is cause or aggravated. Read the red. In service event or aggravation. Everybody always says something is caused by service. Well, if you're saying the service caused your sleep apnea, no, it did not. But it did cause a PTSD that in turn may have aggravated or made worse or caused the sleep apnea. How you make the argument is no different than mathematics. If you start off with the wrong equation, you're going to get the wrong answer every day of the week. And it's not that the system is wrong. Yeah, the system's jacked up. The VA tends to jack up. But you're arguing things incorrectly. And that is what hurts veterans many a times. So that's just one point there to focus on. Again, referencing the course because it's helpful to understand how to get to that. But before I take off the point here, I'll bring up one of Lead Benefit Advisor Amy Lacey's favorite subjects, which is sleep apnea. Boom, bam, bing.
Yep.
And to Creighton's points, I'll be honest, I've been dragging feet on this part of the process because some of the stuff is pretty, yeah. So, and that's a good point. So for many veterans, let's not, again, all of this is by design. Don't get it twisted, right? We make light of things, joke about things, try to kind of levy up, the mood because we're dealing with serious things. We're working with veterans who've experienced traumatic events, who literally are on the brink, as we started to show, right, of checking out, who literally are at the bottom end of their rope of, I cannot do this any further. I'm tired of being in pain. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of hurting in more ways than one. Victims of military sexual trauma, MST, both men and women. Like, there's so many things. But I will say this. When we're filing a claim, And part of the reason why we have these conversations is it is imperative for a veteran to understand that filing a claim really is unpacking a lot of things. So if I'm creating, I'm unpacking things that I put away a long time ago that I said I would never deal with. But guess what? Those things have not gone away and they're still in there. And it's scary to open up Pandora's box because guess what? I'm not that same 20-year-old kid in Vietnam. Now I'm way older and I'm now having to deal with this that I've put away for a long time because guess what? Life got slower. I retired because a busy mind keeps busy. But an idle mind, they say, is the devil's playground. And there is a high preponderance of veterans who are now coming into retirement age, our Vietnam veterans, who literally are being slammed with a ton of bricks of shit they thought they put away a long time ago. It don't matter, that was the 60s. Now you're sitting there in the house by yourself, and the reality is catching up to you of what you are dealing with. So we cannot write the past or fix what has not been done. But for a veteran to understand what to do here, it's imperative to understand that this is not something you just Google. Because again, you can Google something, and we'll talk about this in other ways, but the PAC Act is a big thing. That goes effective January 1st. That means the backlog of claims is going to increase exponentially. You throw things against the wall, well, guess what? Here's the reality. Did it work last time? Did doing what your friend said work? Did doing what the VSO said work? Because the fact is, a lot of times it did not work. So now, how do you come at this from a whole different perspective? Well, before we even get into the claims, let's just look at something basic. Filing a claim is not a rehashing of the traumatic event that you may have gone through, but it is making note that all these years after said event, you are still affected and impaired. And if there is a traumatic event that happened, whatever it may be, personal assault, in combat, not in combat, it does not matter. The fact that all these years it still affects you, we need to have a conversation. But filing the claim doesn't mean we rehash all those traumas and we have to sit there and relive all that. No. We are literally about to give it to you in a percentage. 10% of the conversation is what happened. 90% of the conversation is what's happening today. The reason veterans are denied is because they think that going to file a claim means you're going into a whole diatribe story of everything that happened in the summer of 67. That's a 5-minute touch point. This is the event that happened. This happened. Fast forward. Here I am now. And now this is what I'm dealing with. So if I'm going to be in a room talking to a psych about something, let's say from a mental health perspective, about 5 to 10 minutes is talking about maybe what may have happened in service. But that other 50 minutes, it's about today. It's about my symptoms now. That's the conversation. So if I were to offer at least some solace to someone who you may know who may be fearing doing this, because again, it's like now you're dragging feet. You're not dragging feet. No. It's that you don't want to face that demon that you know is in there. Filing a claim is nothing. If you can send an email or you can comment or watch this show, you can file a claim. You just log in, you put your name, you say what's wrong, and you submit. The end. So when someone says filing a claim, you don't need anybody to help you that. No. You don't need me to help you that. But you need me to help you get here right. Because guess what? You don't need someone to show you how to throw a punch. You just make a fist and you just go like this and find a face. But if you don't have a coach to show you what's going to happen when you get punched in the gut and things don't go according to plan, you're going to wish you had somebody on your corner. Because I tell you what, the best athletes in the world have coaches. That's just the facts. And I get it. The system shouldn't be like this. Veterans should have... Keep crying that story, you're still going to stay denied. So if you want something different, you want changes, you have to put the work in. You're super overweight, you want to lose that weight, get a trainer to get on your ass. Trust me, go time. It's as simple as that. So when you have someone supporting you with you that is telling you, hey, this is going to happen, it is going to suck a little bit. But for this instance of dragging feet, it is a common occurrence. You're not alone. And so you have to hear that because you may think, oh, it's just me dragging my feet. No, everybody does it. Everybody does it. But it's because of the fear of having to bring things up that you've had away for such a long time. Because I've lived a whole life removed from that, and now I have to deal with it again? Yeah, that's not a thing. Or men that have been victims of military sexual trauma and literally are in a place now where they have to actually share and talk about what they're dealing with. Some folks we've helped, their spouse of 20 years didn't even know that they had experienced those traumatic events. And then we hear things like, how did you get this out of me? How did you know? How did you pick up on that? Because this is what we do. It's very easy to tell the telltale signs. You know what I'm saying? When you do something so many times, it's like a mechanic. You've been a mechanic for 30 years. Trust me, as soon as that car pulls in, you already know. That needs that. How did you know? Like the old commercial, right? What did it sound like? That's this. When I start the car, I hear that's that. Like that fine tuning of being able to hear it a mile away, it's skill. Our ability to talk to a veteran who's experienced traumatic events and know, like, so sounds to me like maybe some of these things may be at play. How did you know that? You're not the only one. Literally, see it all the time. So I said to say that the journey of filing the claim is more than just filing the claim. It's to mentally be in a place to understand that you may have to go someplace for once and actually tell the truth because you left service camouflaging yourself and not talking about what really has been affecting you. You're not grumpy this. You're not broken that. You're not sad this. You're someone who's been dealing with things that you've suppressed for a long time. So how do you do that? Right? So dealing with some of those things, whether it's whoever may be listening or if you know someone who's dragging their feet, understand there's a reason why they're dragging that feet because sometimes it's something like saying, oh, Reggie, just file the claim. You'll be good to go. Nah, it's not that easy. You need to literally, get yourself in a place of being ready. And if I understand that, hey, it may be hard for him, how do we support that, right? So to the answer of dragging your feet, I think it's pertinent to say that because it is important. Amy, on your side, what would you add to that? Because I know you on your side also work a lot with folks. So for someone who may be dragging feet, but look, I'm not, again, you know what I mean? The Care Bear is not here, reading minds, but it's the facts of that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm saying this as an example. One, Crane, thank you for saying that. But people have to see this because when you're just like, oh, get out of my head, I could do this all day. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact is, you need to hear that, but someone else needs to hear that because this is a level of mastery. This is not Google a thing, right? To be able to have a conversation on YouTube is like, how are you reading what's going on in here? It's because there's mastery on this side of the house of having have done this at a high level of excellence with thousands of veterans over years. We don't toot that stuff, but you can't say these things unless you're good at this and have done this and have helped people in similar situations. So one, you're welcome because you need to hear that, but someone else needed to hear that because this is not buy my course because do a thing. Like, no, this is the work of putting this together because maybe you're not ready to talk to me because talking to me, trust me, I can get real deep real quickly and bring stuff up, but maybe do it on your own. Buy the course, go through it, see if that works because you can always reach back out and we'll be here, but it's baby steps, right? So it might not be, let's say for Creighton specifically, but just to be able to say an example, that's an honest reaction to what just happened right now. So again, to bring it back, that whole point of touching on that is because I know it from a mile away. So when I hear or read this, I know exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like people are like, oh, you know what? Just go ahead when you're ready and do it. No, that's not what's play here. It's what I just said. Because after I say that, then you see the following. And that's what makes the difference of what we're doing. Because if we can do that, we can get to a point of this, which in turn gets the wheels moving, right? So that's an example, in real life right there and there to talk about that. So, Amy, back to your point, because again, same thing. That's what we do. You yourself, deal with it a lot. What are some things you would share for folks out there as far as, some of these points I just said here?
I think, you got to be ready to file your claim and you got to be, it's sometimes it's just a matter of time where you just get to the point where you say, okay, I need to do this. Like I need to do this. It could be, a situation where your spouse says, look, if you don't get some help, then we can't continue. Or you, your kids say, you know what, you scare me. Or your family feels like they're walking on eggshells. Something brings you to that point of sort of acknowledging that you need to do something, you need to reach out, you need to address whatever is going on. I think as far as dragging your feet, I think we can all probably agree that we've drug our feet. If we told you our personal stories, we're no different than all of you guys. Honestly, like we've all been there, and we've all done it. I know I had my intent to file for a year, and I do this every day, and I couldn't bring myself to hit the submit button, and I
I
kept
do believe
saying,
I threatened you. There was a threat, for the record, to submit it.
yeah, I just, and then it got to the point, like, I kept saying, oh, I'm gonna write a statement, I'm gonna write a statement, I'm gonna write a statement, and then it got to the point where my intent to file was gonna, expire, and I hit submit, and then the next day I got a call for my CMP, and I'm like, oh shoot, I thought I had time to write a statement. And so I think we can all um, relate to dragging our feet, but the bottom line is you're here, so you're not dragging them anymore. So, and I think, there's something to be said for that, is showing up and, asking the questions, or just speaking about it and saying, hey, what do I do, where do I go? Because the thing is, like DP says all the time, you don't know what you don't know. And that's why, he's created this space to help educate veterans on how to file, what to file, how, do I file it primary? Do I file it secondary? Do I need a nexus letter? Do I not need a nexus letter? Can I refile if I've been denied? I can't tell you how many times people say, I had no idea. Maybe they weren't necessarily dragging their feet, but they had no idea that they could even claim tinnitus um, from the Vietnam War, or whenever, they had no idea that they could file for something that had never been addressed before. Some things are no, it's not going to be easy, but it could be doable. But just ask the question. And so I would say, give yourself some grace, and you're here, you're showing up. It sounds like you're asking the questions, you're doing it. So you may have dragged your feet, but now you're not. So kudos to you for moving forward in the process. And that is really what it is. It's a process. And I'm an instant gratification type of a person. So it was hard for me. But I've learned in, like, watching people, like, I've worked several clients for 2 years. And I know for sure, right, Brian has for sure as well, where we've kept them where maybe they started at 0 or they started at 10. And like DP's point, he says it's, chess, not checkers. And it's the long game, like, stick with it. Um, lean on us for support if we can support you. And, you can get there for sure. So kudos to you for, showing up, and thank you for being here.
100%. So as we begin to wrap up here, we'll kind of switch pace and begin getting our thoughts together for our closing statements. Before we do that, let me know if you can hear this, because I think this is pretty dope to share. So this is some of our TikTok shenanigans. The Army folks will definitely understand this. So let's see here. Let me bring it back. Do. So this is a Army thing. Really, it's more the caption so much that than anything else. So for the Army folks, how do I explain to non-Army people that I cannot walk on the grass because it belongs to the Sergeant Major? P.S. It does not matter if the grass is around the house that I own. The Sergeant Major is waiting for me to slip up. Not today, Satan. Not today. It's an Army thing. Simple, as simple as that. There's no other way around it. So for some of the Army folks, you should be able to relate to some of that. So we'll kind of have that one up there, which I think is pretty cool. So let's see here. Let's see. As we start to wrap, we'll go over to Reggie first. Some of your final thoughts that you may want to share with the peoples.
I would probably say just keep pushing forward. I mean, you might have took 3 steps back by just sitting on your stuff, but take that one step forward and get moving. Don't matter what happened in the past, don't matter what you've done, don't matter what stuff but it's now that you get moving on your stuff and take charge and take the courage and empower yourself on your process. And because not just you suffering, it's just also your family involved. They're part of the journey with you as you go through your claim process. So don't just think you're alone. If you have somebody at your house, they're there with you, and there's other folks that's counting you. So just because you may have been denied and you may, man, nobody's doing me fair. Look, there's thousands in the same boat. You're not alone. But realize that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You have to persevere and get moving. Be self accountable. Can't blame nobody else. Can't put the blame on the VA. A lot of people put the point. But at the end of the day, it's all on you.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta put yourself.
100%.
Mm-hmm. But those are my thoughts.
Let's see. Craig said, thanks, Amy. You got that right, Reggie. Families Impact says David A. Eric says, you got that right. Over to you, Brian. Oh, you're muted. Nope, not yet. You're still muted.
There we go. How about
There you
that?
Much better.
Well, I don't know if I can repeat what I just said because it's so great. No. No, I mean, Amy, Reggie, DP, these guys know what they're talking about, and they're right on target. We've all wasted time. We've all burnt years potentially in our claims. So shoot, whole generation went by while I was waiting to file my claim. So,
Mm-hmm.
So the fact is we pick it up where we can, and you can't do nothing about what's yesterday, but you can do something about it today, and we've all gone through that. It is a scary thing to submit that claim when you're first starting off. So, but it's great. It's great having everybody here. It's a great support. It's a great support, like and there's DP in a boat, man. I was like, where's the life vest?
This is literally what I've done, for our folks. Literally, I have put myself in a boat out here at the peril of myself to serve others.
And Legend has his service Raven.
He does. So little fun fact there for that.
That's good. That's a good one. That's funny.
So hey, we'll go to the edges of the earth that we need to help and support. So
that's right. Now we're here. Yeah.
Actually, we got Rob showed up. Thankfully,
Rob.
Rob was able to tune on it. I just saw his comment come up as well. He reached out. So for those that may not know, I've mentioned it a whole bunch of times, but not only am I a disabled veteran, but I'm also a first responder and retired from that world there. So just created a channel. Thanks for joining us. Literally saw your email come in earlier. And the first thing I said, it was like, hey, we got to make sure we try to at least get on that link while we're doing a whole bunch of things. So I'm glad that Rob was able to tune in with us, because I was jumping and supporting the other veteran who was having a moment there. So, yeah, really got to see you there. So I just kind of saw that pop up there. So sorry, Brian, back to you.
Was I saying something? I don't know.
You got brought to life by the boat.
Oh yes, well the boat. I mean, our ship is coming in. So
it is a true statement.
I mean, just that nice, cool background, the water. No, it's. Hey, well, thank you for everybody for being here. This is a great place to hang out with fellow vets, and this is just a great time and great support for those who are struggling to take that next step. Nobody's alone. You're amongst good company. We've all taken those steps and hesitated on those steps. So, yeah, I just can't get enough of that boat.
Well, it is pretty hypnotic now. I can't,
And I'm really impressed on how well you're staying at the front of that thing. I'm just
go.
I get nervous. I'm thinking that boat's going to tip.
And I will say this, to Brian. I'll go and then I'll give it over to. Actually, we'll go to Amy real quick so you can get your final points through, and then I'll close it up. You're muted also. Come back to us. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Try again. Go again.
Oh, okay. There we go.
There you go. Amy.
Okay,
You good.
can you hear me? Okay. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight and for hanging with us for a while, and DP for holding this space. We look forward to seeing you guys next time. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and remember that the heaviest thing to pick up is a phone. So, give somebody a call, reach out to your strong friends. I think that that's very important as well, especially during the holidays. And so I would say that's about it.
Awesome. I think that's a huge a big one. And there's another one too. People can read on the background as that kind of plays and loops there. So this is explaining folks about changing water, socks, and Motrin. But I'm really glad to see Rob here. One of the things I don't think folks realize is really, we're on TikTok a lot. You'll see some of these videos. You see me on a daggone boat. You see me literally wearing a teddy bear situation here. And the fact of the matter is, look, if wearing a teddy bear or literally jumping on a boat virtually with my service dog, is what is needed, then I'm going to do that thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that thing. And if it makes someone laugh, then it hopefully helped them to stop crying, for a little bit, or made them change their mood for a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think that's been my biggest thing, where it's just like, I have no interest in doing any of this, right? The fact that I literally have my daughter like, how the heck do you have so many followers on TikTok? I'm like, I have no clue. And my niece is like, I need to get on Uncle David status. I'm like, I don't know exactly how that became a thing. But it's the fact that we're just solving a need and we're meeting folks. And some of the conversations that we're having with people, I would say I am very grateful, for being able to just help one person at a time. Rob reached out. He's a first responder. He doesn't have a military background, but he's lived that life of service, right? And for him to email and say, hey, I'd like to be a part of what you guys are doing. It's like, not yes, but hell yes. You know what I'm saying? This is for veterans, active duty, first responders, and their families, right? This is literally being able to create a space and do something that it's just our way of doing something. So on TikTok, it's been taking off at Veteran DP. We're answering questions, and it's a growing community of people there. And I would encourage folks that are watching here on other channels that there's a lot of transitioning veterans leaving service that are reaching out through those channels over there. And it's one of those things of like, look, I'm going to go where veterans need help. And if it's on TikTok and I have to jump on a boat and do a thing and, poke a fun about a thing or say something that's whatever, it doesn't matter. We will do that thing because, again, that's literally 2 seconds of my life to crank out some content. And hopefully it makes someone's lives better, or hopefully it cheers them up, or hopefully if they're having a depressed moment or in pain and they get to talk to us, it's like, oh, snap, from the dude from the videos. Like, well, yeah, if that means something, then great, but we have the ability to do, it's more than us. So I really am proud and happy of that. So I would definitely say that this is about serving others. This is about creating space. We've been doing this for a while. And again, we're just doing it our way. It doesn't matter what someone else is doing, but this is our thing. So, I'll jump on and, put on my little, Care Bear suit, because one, it's a nice little Halloween thing we did. And two, I'm hibernating from Thanksgiving, but it's because we truly care, right? That's the reason we spend a Friday night here and give value, answer questions, and we do this across many mediums. So whether it's on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, a new app that opens tomorrow, it does not matter. Again, if we have a way to be able to support and be there for someone, we're going to do that. So, DP, I need a back scratch. Yeah. Nah, you got the Air Force for that. Get out of here with that noise. No. Denied for Glenn. But in closing, I'll say, if someone out there, who may just need community, may just need to be a part of something, invite them. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason we're doing this, right? In the Facebook group, Abraham literally was in a bad space. We have a chaplain on crew, and guess what? He was able to, stand with him and say some words for him. I'll go live and have lunch and just stay on, on a live. It doesn't matter. The point is, why not? You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna have lunch, it's like, okay, we like literally it'll be a meeting just like this. Like we had a meeting the other day, and I was like, hey, we're gonna go live on Zoom on the Facebook group. Why? Because we're just talking among ourselves. Invite the crew. Come on in, hang out with us. Like, why not? It doesn't have to be a structure like we're gonna have a meeting to talk about deep stuff on Friday. Like, no, man, it's just show up, right? And just be. So if you know someone that needs some of this, where it's been beneficial to you, tell someone else, right? Because again, we're not selling snake oil. We're not sitting here giving you the proposition value of how people, do all this stuff. We're just trying to do something different, and it may just be what somebody needs. And I know today we were able to save a life before the live, and it came almost at the point of not having a live, and that would have been fine by me if we were able to save that life. But because we were able to do that, we were able to go live and talk about that, and that is everything. So I appreciate you all. Okay, I'll check Twitter. Like I said, between all the platforms, trust me, the DMs become a whole thing. I haven't been on Twitter in a minute, so I'll check back for sure. But I'll check on that, Glenn. Thanks for saying that. But I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Again, join our social media platforms. If you're on Facebook, join our Facebook group. We're kicking that off. We're doing stuff. We're doing things exclusively in there as well. But wherever you are, we want to meet you there. So stay tuned. Be a part of it because, again, it's our club. It's the Veterans Network Champions Club. This is our tribe, our club. And if nobody ever invited you back or welcomed you home, welcome home. This is your club. This is my club. I am you. You are me. I get you because we're the same. And that's what this is all about. Appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. We will be back again very soon. So stand by to stand by.
Good night,
Good night, all.
everybody. Have a good night and weekend.
Yeah.
Buenas noches.
And it's not just again.
No.
Buenas noches. So awesome. Let me check out some of these last ones here that came over. Let's see, good night. Appreciate you. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you. Great idea showing up.